not all form solutions are created equal. When someone is using HubSpot, there are 4 ways that you can create a form and create and get that information back into HubSpot. We're going to talk about all 4. We're going to talk about the pros and cons. There is no perfect scenario, but it's important to know what the pros and cons are, and therefore you can make the best decision for what you do. What we're going to be covering are the native HubSpot forms, CMS forms, like a Gravity form, which we'll talk about, using a Zapier, a third-party capture tool, meaning you're using whatever form you are, but then using sort of a middleware to connect that form to HubSpot. Or HubSpot has this really cool thing called a form listener, where you just turn it on and it automatically captures your forms automatically, which is pretty cool, using JavaScript. Okay, let's get into all 4. So the first one is HubSpot native forms. What this literally means is, as you can see in that picture, a little bit AI-y, but you get the point, is that you build the form in HubSpot itself, and then you can embed that form on your landing page, or you could potentially use HubSpot's landing pages. Now, why are these so good? Is because, number one, there's an accuracy to the attribution. It will automatically capture the landing URL, meaning that when someone lands on the page and there's all that information in the URL, it will automatically capture it, and it will segment most UTM parameters and will automatically capture the GCL ID or Facebook click ID, which those are really important. That is basically the click ID, and that will later connect the individual back to the ad and the campaign and the keyword that they clicked on. So it's doing that information that you need to later connect back to Google Ads. It's automatically pulling most of it, right? Another cool part is, if you already have information about an individual, it can show that data already in the form, or actually, let me clarify. If someone has filled out a form in the past, it will keep track of what they filled in, and therefore they don't have to fill it in again, which is kind of cool. When someone fills out that form, there's 0 latency between filling out that form and going to HubSpot. It's as if you're putting it directly into HubSpot. What's the biggest cons? There are styling limitations, meaning depending on what track of HubSpot you're at, because HubSpot is, in general, HubSpot has 3 features. And then depending where you're at is how much you can customize the form. And then if you aren't really good with CSS, there might be issues. So yeah, so one downside would be is that if you're very particular on your design, I have certain clients who, just because of the design, they're saying, okay, I'm not going to use it. Another thing you have to keep in mind is, if you're just using the native form, if you want to automatically capture, if you're running a Microsoft ads campaign, or you have different UTMs, it won't necessarily automatically capture that and put it into the right place in HubSpot.